Hello, I'm Carolyn Holzman, and this is Confessions of an SEO. These episodes are short with a fair amount of tough love to the SEO industry. It started out as love letters to the SEO industry, SEOs, and those that they serve. I hope you enjoyed today. Welcome to episode 35 of Confessions of an SEO in 2024. And I hope this finds you well. I'm ready to talk shop for a minute. And if you're ready for some positivity about life as a search professional, well, you've come to the right place. I know it's not just been me, but it does seem like a lot of us in our industry habitually or reflexively, whenever there is mention of Google this or Google that, we contribute things that are snarky, a little mean, grumpy, jaded, and downright depressed to the point of almost giving up. And yes, I am aware that I have said mean, grumpy, snarky, and sarcastic things about Google in general, at least as it comes to search. But I think it came to mind that what we rarely express is gratitude. I know this may be a stretch for many of us, but I'm willing to give it a try. Have you ever noticed that when you focus on something, it seems to keep showing up? You know, you're thinking of buying a Telluride Kia, and suddenly it seems like everyone is driving a Telluride Kia. What if it is possible to practice gratitude for Google, or at least for search engines, if Google is a bridge too far? Don't worry, I'll go first. Well, first thing, it is such a joy to be able to work from anywhere. And I really owe that all to Google. For many years with the CD and DVD manufacturing, I was tethered to a physical office. Not that I didn't have a great time with it for most of the time. Certainly in the beginning, there really wasn't any alternative that I could see. There wasn't, a Google like we know of now. And while I knew there were people who were running their own businesses, the practicality of manufacturing and shipping and everything in between meant some tethering. You can't do that from the road. You can't do that from a mountain home in Vermont. So when I finally got wind of this thing called Google and people who could provide services to other businesses and be paid and paid well, I caught a wild hair. And I haven't let go of it since. Well, certainly not for long. I'm grateful that I can work anywhere. I'm not one of those that require an office to stay focused or motivated. If I choose to work, I can and do work from home. Wow, the flexibility goes way beyond location. For instance, I don't need to check with someone to be able to run home so the plumber can fix a toilet. I don't have to apply for time off and have to ask anybody permission for pretty much anything. If I look at it, Google has made that possible for me. And it looks like it came in the form of I can work from anywhere. Secondly, I'm grateful there's always something to learn. I know search engines, that's not the only industry where you can learn new things. But for me, it's what really I love. And I don't think everybody is a learner to learn all the time. A lot of folks are learn to get, like the grade is the destination, or the title, or the job that comes with the title is the destination. It's never been like that for me. I truly love to learn. Problem-solving opportunities are huge for me in this industry. The pleasure I get from figuring something out, I cannot stay in my skin sometimes, when I find things. And if you hear anything, that's my new office mate. His name is Sunny, and he's beautiful. What else? Going about the learning. Yes, I happen to be in the right place at the right time to be one of the first SEO testers. And I was fortunate to be part of both of the strongest SEO testing groups while they existed. Let's just look at the indexation research. That or this has been the gift that keeps on giving. I know less astute folks think that this is a folly, a waste of time, and in short, something stupid. Good. I hope they continue to think that way. Through the indexation research, I happen to figure out the helpful content system. Through the helpful content analysis, I could see the canonical system when it comes to table of content anchor links is not working. Through the research, the indexation research, I also found an indexation method, which is why the indexer is in the hands of the programmer and the developer now to bring it to life. And just today, I made another breakthrough within the indexation system. I literally have Post-it notes decorating my desk made up of tests that I can run and confirm what I saw. So it feels a bit like a hungry person coming into a buffet. That's how I feel. This stuff feeds me. And I just want to quick mention, I had a very cool Wix moment this week. Always something new to learn. If you're not familiar with it, Wix Studio is a web platform for agencies and enterprise, which is nice, if you have a lot of teams, a lot of sites or a lot of teams, managing them. Now, this week, a new client presented with their site, and it just happened to be a Wix site. And I got to see how valuable it is to someone who's a business owner, not a designer. They just got on with it and they put together their site in Wix. And of course, I used all the SEO defaults in there, and it was easy on the fixes, basic but essential tweaks to get them ranking better than they were. And I also set up the bot report so I could see that activity on their site. Now, I don't know of other site builders who share that level of log activity between the SEO defaults that come. They are literally the best in their class. And I hope if you're looking for a site builder with the best of the best, you'll want to take a look at Wix Studio to see more for yourself. What else am I grateful for in Google and the other search engines? Well, not for nothing. I get to help others through what I know. Now, that impulse to help is pretty strong. And in the early days, I did not manage it well. Thank goodness, through a business model, instead of helping indiscriminately, I get to exchange value with others so that they can prosper more through my knowledge. I do like to help others, and the exchange of currency is essential. Now, currency is money, and sometimes it's something else. Now, there are times when I have helped people on their sites. In doing so, I can build up a set of case studies for my forensic study. They get something, I get something, and we're all better off afterwards. I remember the first time I thought, maybe I could help my neighbor in the business part where I had my office. When I first got into SEO, my company was my first client. These guys, they eventually became my first SEO client that wasn't me. They showed up in my office asking me, what was I doing? This was back in 2008, 2009. They had seen all the cars and the people coming and going and the UPS deliveries of box after box, case after case of CDs. They could see it because they kept their warehouse door rolled up because they didn't AC the back of their office. They did up front, but not for the guys in the back. So when the truck pulled up, which now it did every day, they couldn't help but notice it. Now, I talk about this in more detail in season 1. It was episode 5, where I called it my first SEO client. But that one was fun. The competitor who clearly had an SEO team, this is the competitor of the people who hired me. They clearly had an SEO team who, by the way, I have to say, thank you. Thank you, people, for all the things you taught me, which I applied to my client. Well, that competitor ended up buying out my client, and while they were at it, they took my client off the table. So while I didn't actually make anything out of the deal, I can say that first off, one, I have a great story about my first client. And everything I learned really just got leveraged into getting more clients and ultimately more work from agencies and pretty much every step of the way to where I am. So to quote Hamilton, ultimately, I got more than I gave and I wanted what I got. Now, those are just three things that are my top 3 things I'm grateful for when it comes to Google and search engines in general. I love that I've come to a work and life balance now. And I've got better at it. It didn't happen just out of the gate. So it took about 15 years to fine tune it a little bit. I think I'm the most satisfied in the balance of things I've experienced to date. And I really look forward to seeing where this adventure kind of continues to take me. And I'm grateful for the opportunity of this ride. And most of it is due to Google being Google. Perhaps by my sharing what I'm grateful for, there are others that may be grateful to Google for some very cool things, other things, that it's brought to their lives. I hope that you'll share them either here or email confessions@americanwaymedia.com. Really like to hear from you. And by the way, that's set up to only go to me. Well, that's it for this week. If you need help with your site and you're not sure where to dig, text me. My specialty is forensic SEO. I find weaknesses in sites and bring solutions to strengthen them and create more success for others through that site. To stay on the cutting edge of the state of indexing, as well as gaining first access to the indexer when it's ready for company, check out Crawl or No Crawl on Substack. To get the alpha, we're not yet at beta, but to get alpha access for the indexer, you can choose between a paid account to support the indexation research or free accounts in which you'll get emails whenever a new report is posted, but only the introduction part. All right. Well, thank you for being a listener. If you have questions or topic ideas, I'd love to hear from you. And you can text me at 512-222-3132. I'll put all that in the description. Thanks again. And until next week, I'll see you in the SERPs.